Hello. So today I will mostly be painting Japanese bamboo stick fighters. So what we're going to do now quickly is I'll quickly run through the paints I'm going to use as the base colours, and then I'll start putting some paint on. So for the officers' shirts, light mud as the base. That's for that bit. The flesh colour, I'll be using German camo orange ochre, 70% to 30% of highlights flesh as the base. Hair I'll be doing Vabdon black, Drybrushing sky grey. All the leather will be Vallejo leather belt. The bamboo sticks for brown violet, and the uniform will be khaki grey. Just realised I missed the silver for the sword. So for the silver for the sword, plate mail metal. So I'll back with you in 1 second while I get me paints and paintbrushes. So for the hair, only these three guys have got hair. So how we can do this on camera? Oh dear. Oh god, it's going everywhere. Right, so basically I'm just going to paint all the hair. So I will crack on and do the rest of these, the other three. And I'll be back with you in a second. So now I'm gonna, while I'm waiting for that black to dry, I'm gonna put the khaki grey on all the guys' trousers. Trying not to get my fingers in the way and trying to get some depth perception while I do this. So what I'll do is I will crack on and paint all the trousers. Can't get any depth perception. Crack on and paint all the trousers, and then I'll get back to you. So 1 second. So that's the main bits of the uniform done. What I'm going to quickly do now is just dry brush up the black hair with light, with sky grey. So it does look a little bit extreme at the minute. But once the ink's on there, that'll tone that right down, and it'll look a lot better. So next up, I will paint the shirts on a couple of guys that got shirts on. So for this, I'll be using Vallejo light mud. So we're just going to pop that all over his shirt. There's one other guy wearing a shirt as well, so we'll get on to him next. So I'll just paint these two up, and then I will get back to you. So that's them done. I had to put a couple of coats on there. I might still need another one. It's not quite covered that well. But while I'm waiting for that, I will put the flesh tones on now. So this is a mix of the German camo ochre and highlights flesh. So yeah, sorry about the lighting today. So I'm just going to paint all the flesh in this colour. So this is not my normal flesh colours that I use, but I wanted a slightly different tone for these guys. So I'm just going to layer that up over the flesh on all of them. And I'll get back to you when that's all done. So next up, I'm going to paint all the bamboo sticks. I'll be using Vallejo brown violet, which is neither brown nor violet. It is in fact green. So I'm just going to base coat all of these with the brown violet, as you can see. Green, not brown nor violet. So back with you in a second. Okay, so that's all the bamboo sticks done. So next up, I'll be using the Vallejo leather belt, and I'll be picking out the belts. Oops, sorry. The belt around there, and the shoes. And there's a tiny little bit on the hat, just around the rim. So I'll try and catch that. Also, the sword handle. So, Vallejo leather belt. So I'm going to crack on and paint all of them, and I shall be back to you in a minute. 1 second. So that's the leather belt done. All the shoes, belts, the caps. So all that's left now, so I'm not going to bore you with this. There's a little gold star that's got to go on his hat. And I've got to paint these bits sky grey, and the sword. So I'll crack on with that, and then we'll get to the next stage. Okay, so I've done them last few bits, headbands, and the gold stars, and all of that bits and pieces. So the last thing to do now is quite simply wash the whole model with strong tone ink. So just lather it on there, loads of it. So I'm going to crack on, get them all done, and I'll see you in the next bit. So that's them all inked. So all that remains now, let's wait for them to dry, and then we'll start highlighting them up. As you can see, I've had loads of ink on them. It's still wet, soaking wet at the minute, but you'll see it when it's dry very shortly. So it's all dry now. Sorry about lighting again. I haven't got a big table lamp, so what I'm going to do now is I'm basically going to go back over everything in the exact same colours. So I'm going to start off with the uniform. And basically I'm going to pretty much cover the entire area again, just leaving some of the black lines in, and a tiny bit of this base colour showing through. So I'll crack on with that, and I'll get back to you. So that's the first coat on there, and then I'll be putting a further highlight on that. But for now, I'll paint all the rest of them, and the hat, which I forgot to do, and then I'll put the final highlight on. First highlight on them, and now I'm going to just highlight them up a tiny bit more, and I'm going to mix some Vallejo buff into the khaki grey, about 50-50, and I'm just going to put these on just some extreme edge highlights, really. I might have to do this off camera because I'm not sure I can see what I'm doing too well. So just like on the edges, yeah, see I've messed that up. I'll tie that up, and yeah, it's just on the edges like that. So I'll do all these and I'll get back to you. So that's the trousers all highlighted, and I remember to do the hats this time, they're highlighted up as well. So now I will move on to the two guys for the shirts, and I'll highlight them up. So I'll be highlighting these with the Vallejo Light Mud, and then as a final highlight I will add some off-white 50-50 and just do a violet highlight with that. So if I just, again, I'm gonna, okay, I'll tidy that up in a minute. Again, I'm gonna cover most of this area, just leaving a little bit of the darker colour underneath and all the black lines. So I'll get back to you in a minute when I've done this. Well, maybe a second again. So that's M2, guys. Shirt's done. And now I'm gonna 50-50 mix this light mud, some off-white, put a highlight on, back in a second. So that's the highlight the shirt put on. It's quite subtle, but it just gives it that nice dirty washed out look. I didn't quite edge highlight like I did with the trousers because I wanted the shirt to be more of a contrast. So that's that. And next I will do skin tones. So for the skin tones, I'll be using the German Camo Orange Ochre and Highlights Flesh 70-30 again. And I'm just going to put this on, and after I've done this highlight, I screwed that up. No, I get away with that. So after I've done this, I will mix some more highlights flesh in, and that'll be the final highlight on the skin. So I'll crack on and get all these done. I'll show the next stage when I get to that. So I've done the first highlight on the flesh. And now, as I say, I'm going to mix a little bit more highlights flesh in with that, because I don't want too much of it. I don't want it to be too pale. So it'll mostly be applying it to the knuckles, nose, eyebrows, lips, that sort of thing, just to give a bit more of a highlight to them. So I shall crack on with that, and I'll show you the results once I've finished. So I'll put that final highlight on the flesh now. So it's quite a subtle one. I didn't want to go too mad. Undecided whether to paint eyes or not yet. I'll decide later. So I'm just going to paint the teeth in now, and then I'll get on to the leather. So with the leather, I'll just do one highlight on that with the leather belt. I find that's enough. It gives you quite a nice highlight after you've put the ink on. So what have I got to do now? Now I've got to do the bamboo spears. So I will get onto that now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a little ring like around there, and one around there, somewhere around there, roughly, in a buff colour. And then after that, then I'll repaint that brown violet. Maybe go a shade lighter than brown violet as well. So I'll just do that now. So these are the guys with just the rings painted round. So now I'm going to put on the green, and hopefully it will start to look a bit more like bamboo. So I'll put the green on now. Undecided. Don't know if I like it or not. The bamboo effect. Anyway, I'll have to think about it. So all I've got to do now is the headbands on a couple of guys, the gold and the silver, and these guys are finished. So I'll just do that, and that's them. Apart from basing, which I'm not going to do today because I decided I'm going to do all the bases in one go together. I'm having to hold them to one side because I've completely run out of light now. I might paint eyes on them tomorrow. I'm undecided. So that's the first 5. I've got 30 of these to paint, so thought I'd just do 5 at a time to start off with. So that is how I paint my Japanese infantry. They're pretty much exactly the same. Obviously, just these have got a lot more skin on them, and they've got bamboo spears instead of rifles. But apart from that, this is how I will paint my Japanese. Disclaimer as normal, I'm not a pro painter, I'm not an expert, I'm just a hobbyist. And if you can pick up anything from this, that's why I do it, you know. If it helps someone, great. And if you don't like it, just scroll on by, don't watch. Anyway, hope your project's going well. Hope it's helpful to somebody. I pretty much paint everything that I paint in this same style. Like base coat, strong tone ink, which this strong tone ink, not the one in the metal can, the one in this bottle. And then I highlight back up. So anyway, thanks for watching. There'll be some stills at the end as normal, if I can get enough light to take the pictures. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.